Hello again, everyone. I am back, and strange enough, I am here back teaching back health, posture, and ergonomics. Terrible joke, I'm sorry. All right, back health complications. The average person sits 13 hours per day. Yikes. Text neck. So if you think, here's my phone, think about texting, you see the position of my spine here in my neck. Obviously, if I'm in that position for a very long time, it can cause a lot of discomfort. Improper lifting habits, so picking things up with your back rather than your legs. Lack of exercise. The average person is sedentary 21 hours per day. Wow, that's a lot of time. Hopefully by now in the Transformation Challenge you have incorporated more exercise or started exercising. If not, let us know and we can hopefully get you on that journey. And poor posture. Obviously poor posture. If your spine is compromised in any way, obviously that would create complications. Spine anatomy. So we have our cervical spine, which is our neck, supports the weight of our head, and it has a very large range of motion. Obviously you can roll your neck, throw it around, very large range of motion. The thoracic spine, or our upper back, is designed to protect the vital organs, so our heart and our lungs. And it compared to the cervical spine and the lumbar spine, it has a very limited range of motion. The lumbar spine, speaking of, the low back, most common area for injury, and we'll talk about why in a little bit. It has a very large range of motion. And the pelvic or the sacrum connects to the spine to the lower portion of our body. So it connects our spine to our glutes, medius, major, etc. Back muscle anatomy. So the traps, so the muscles that are right here that connect to our neck, part of the cervical spine, the rhomboids or your shoulders, and we have our teres major, which in the shirt you probably won't get to see, but it's right through here, and then our minor, which is underneath that. They're connected to the thoracic spine. If these muscles are weak, that posture in your thoracic spine will be compromised. So if you ever see, it's very common in men, the rolled over shoulder positions, that's usually because the back muscles aren't as strong as the chest muscles in comparison. So if you see that rolled over position, it's because men like to bench press. Let's be honest. Men like to bench press and then not use their backs. So that's kind of why that forward shoulder rolled position is more common in men. The lats, big muscle that runs right down your body, and the erector spinae, try to get to it right here, connects to our low back, connects to the lumbar spine, and if these muscles are strong and healthy, low back pain will be minimal. We'll talk about ways to make those stronger. Poor posture causes, obviously our sedentary lifestyle, sitting a lot, muscle weakness, probably a really big cause there, muscle stiffness, and poor core stability. And I'm not going to hit all of this, but on the attached PDF, you'll be able to read all of this here. Core stability. Here's my truth hurts slide. If your back hurts while you're exercising, it's usually because you have a weak core, and the stronger muscle group when you're exercising will take over. Yes, so that can hurt the pride, definitely. So if you think about when someone does a squat, if you've ever seen someone do a squat, they squat down, and the first thing that rises up are their hips, so they go all the way down, and when they come up, they're like this, instead of this. It's usually because their low back is stronger than their core, or their legs rather. In that scenario, the low back would be stronger than your legs, so the low back would be the stronger muscle, so that's where the weight would shift. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, just let me know and I'll try to explain it a little bit better in the comments of this video. When you have a strong core, you're sparing your spine from excessive load, and a strong core equals a strong back. You know, when we think about core, we always think of the six-pack, and we always think about just that front area, but the core actually is obviously your abs, then you have your obliques, and then you have those spinae, or the erector spinae that we talked about. So all three of those components would make up a strong core. Contrary to popular belief, if you have a six-pack, doesn't necessarily mean that you have a strong core. Just keep that in mind. You would know if you didn't have a strong core if you're walking around, your low back hurts. That would probably be an indicator that you need to work on your core. We need 360 degrees of stiffness in our trunk. Again, that's talking about 360 degrees, not just the abs there. And we achieve that by not doing crunches and side bends. We achieve that by enhancing stability in the hips, torso, and the shoulders. Back health at work. Computer screen position actually plays a very big role in your back health. If you're looking up, if you're looking down, that could obviously cause a lot of stress on your cervical spine. So you need to be making sure that your screen is dead ahead, you're looking at it, you don't have to lift your head up and down. Seems like a common sense one, but I threw it in there just in case. Chairs. Make sure your chair has adequate lumbar spine support. If your chair does not, you can put a pillow there. That should help. But if you're sitting in a chair and your low back you can put your hand behind your back between the chair and the low back. That would mean that you probably need to sit up a little bit taller. And even then, if your butt's all the way back in your chair and you have no lumbar spine support, you should probably throw a pillow in there. And when sitting, make sure your lumbar spine is pushed all the way back into your chair. Just like I said, make sure your shoulders aren't slouched. So typing, also in that forward position, make sure we're sitting up tall. And your elbows when you're typing should be at 90 degrees, not up here obviously, and not down. Stretches at work. You probably won't be able to see these on these presentations, but the slides will be attached, and there's exercises at work. All right, so next week for our challenge, I'm about to show you guys 3 stretches. It'll be just like our meal prep challenge. You'll have to do these stretches at least once for 3 out of 5 days next week, and then we'll put you in for a drawing. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good one.